Afternoon all, so here I am, I'm at Bodiam Castle and I'm on the golf buggy with Paul. Here's Paul.
Hi.
Surname?
Coveney.
It's Paul Coveney, and Paul's wife Jane works in the office at Bodiam, and position is?
Support Service Manager.
Support Service Manager. And Paul, yours is?
Buggy driver.
Buggy driver.
Acca, stick.
Here's the castle. Gorgeous as it is, hive of activity, lots of visitors. How many visitors today do you think, Paul?
Quite a few hundred.
In the hundreds, good.
Not very high
That's
hundreds.
what we like to hear. Got reenactments going on.
Talks from, I think it's the High Sheriff, having sword fights in the castle today as the armoury is open where people can try on the armour.
Tried it on, Paul?
I have.
You have?
The helmet's a murder.
Oh really? Why is that?
They're very heavy.
Very heavy.
And not comfortable.
As I hear, you are pretty into wearing other sorts of helmets, such as the Stigs.
Yes, I wanted to get a t-shirt with I am the Stig, and the wife, she said no, I couldn't, and I said well I should because it's a National Trust. I was a bit upset about this. Anyway, I went down to the bottom and one of the chaps on the car park said, are you alright? I said, well, Jane won't let me wear a t-shirt with I am the Stig. He said, if you get the t-shirt, he said, I've got the helmet. And I said, blow the t-shirt, I'll get the overalls.
So you're going to show off your Stig skills? Should we make tracks?
Yes, are you ready for the high-speed trace?
Let's do it. Blow me away, Stig.
The acceleration is quite something, actually.
Is it?
As you can feel, G-force.
Hit and miss with the visitors, the old Stig outfit?
It was a great hit with all of them. We did have one person who did complain. She went into the office and asked, does the buggy driver have to wear a helmet when driving the buggy? And she said, because if he has to, why aren't all the passengers? I think it was possibly jealousy or not realising who I was.
What events are coming up over the summer?
Over the summer we have Knights and Princesses. We also have Lord Curzon's 90th anniversary of him giving the castle to the National Trust.
Great, and good move. I hear that Will Past, who works here as the groundsman, am I right?
That's right, he's in charge of the grounds.
He's in charge, and amazing story, his dad and grandfather used to manage Bodiam.
Yes, Will's grandfather, he used to work for Lord Curzon. They had Will's dad up at the cottages.
Yeah.
And then...
And the cottages now are the offices.
Cottages now the office. Will was born there, he then lived there up till a few years ago. He lived in the same house he was born in. And now he's moved out, but he's still here. So we have a direct link to Lord Curzon through one family because his grandfather, his father and Will himself have all held the same position.
I'd imagine actually that's quite rare these days.
I have never heard of it before.
Yeah.
You've got 3 generations doing the same job.
Tell me more. So Jane works here, your wife, in the office?
Yes. So she used to want me to take her to work at the weekends and I was doing nothing. I said, well, you've got to find something for me to do. So she said, well, how about driving a buggy? And I replied, I want to be a buggy driver. I've never looked back since.
And how many years now?
Coming up for 5 years. And a lot of people who I've met, very interesting people from all over the world. I only do 2 days a week.
How do you find it being husband and wife team for the National Trust?
It's very good actually. I think we work well together. I've been accosted.
So we have here, who's this?
I'm Sophie.
This is Sophie. Sophie, your job at Bodiam is?
Visitor Experience Officer.
Visitor Experience Officer. I'm Amy Jane.
And I'm in the tea room as well.
I saw you in the tea room yesterday. What's your favourite thing about working at Bodiam?
I work at the coffee shop at the top as well. So the view I get every single day when there's nobody here. You know, when you first come in, yeah, the view you get when there's nobody here on like a nice summer's day, probably my favourite thing, and it sounds really like stuck up. But
that's nice, it's romantic.
It's really
That's nice. It shows a soft side. It sounds like it's going to be hectic all summer.
It is going to be
really
hectic.
Cool, the Knights and Princesses.
I love the Knights and Princesses.
Knights and Princesses. Daphne and say hello. Yeah, woof woof. Right, anyway, so lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
Bye. So she was lovely. They've got a great team there. What was that little hut we just saw them in?
Well, that was the ticket office.
And now we're approaching the visitors' car park and coming back towards the cafe and the shop. run by Lynn.
There have been
Goodness.
rumours.
And how does Jane feel about that?
Jane thinks it's an absolute hoot.
It's good to hear that National Trust employees have sense of humours.
Oh yes.
Well, thanks, Paul. You've had to put up with me for 2 days.
Good.
Well, look, I'll be back again soon to do more research
I shall
and to
look
meet
forward to seeing you
Will.
again. And Will.
Will Past, very appropriate name considering he has lots of past history with Bodiam.
He will tell you a lot about the castle. I say the castle is his baby. I think he has more right to the castle than possibly the National Trust.
Really?
Well, his link goes back
Scandalous.
before the National Trust.
So actually it's really important that people like Will have some kind of a presence here,
Oh,
just to keep the spirit living on.
yes, most definitely.
Great. And your future spirit. So that is, you know, everyone that's working here is future spirit of National Trust. So it's great.
Yes, all I want to do, drive my buggy and make people happy.
Great. That's what I like to hear, Paul. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Cool.